Hi everyone, I've been playing around with my Inktense sticks and also stiffening some fabric. So I'm just going to use plain PVA glue or white glue and some water. My first experiment is with these little swatches of fabric that I've cut. I just want a variety. You know, we've got satins and we've got silks and we've got cotton and organza, and I've mixed up maybe a little bit too much water with my glue, but I'm going to pop it outside. See how I've got it on plastic? I can lift the whole thing up and take it outside into the sun and then see what it does. So it's going outside now to dry. Next, I'm also wanting to play with this. This is some sheer fabric. This one has an embroidery on it of a dandelion. And this one has a print. And the print, I think, would act as a resist. So I am going to get out my Inktense blocks or sticks. See these lovely colours. And I'm going to just try and put some colour on. See how very little I'm putting on? I'm using the side of the stick and just giving a little tiny bit of colour. And here I've done blue, and then I've done some teal kind of colour or jade, and next up the top I'm going to add some yellow. And that's what I mean, just so sideways. And see how I've mixed the yellow down into the jade? That'll make a difference. And I put some darker bits around this dandelion here to see if that will make it show up better. But I'm thinking that resist is going to be good. I have tried this material before. So I've got some plain old water here and a paintbrush, and I am going to just wet it now. Everywhere I've been with that block. And see how intense the colours become? I mean, it's wet, it'll become a little lighter, but they just come to life. It's real magic. And so I'll just be doing this. We might speed it up in a minute. And what I wanted to say is it's really good if you wanted to try a bit of painting on your clothing. This would wash, you know, once you add that water, you know, and let it dry, she's good to go. Now here they are with vibrant colour, and we're going to pop that outside as well. Now let's see what's happened with these swatches. You know, I'm not entirely happy, so I have mixed a stiffer mix of PVA or white craft glue and water, and I've been adding it to these. I am here experimenting. I made a bit too much with a nice piece of silk, I think. It's going to be something special. So I'm using some very fine glitter and now this pigment. And I'm going to use the bottom of my brush to pick some up and to just try and shake some off and get some little spots of it here and there on that wet glue, because it'll set in it then. And so then I use the paintbrush and I mix it around a bit, and then I add a little bit more glitter because it was pretty. I try the kind of the same treatment on these two, just a few, and look at that, see? Beautiful. I think it looks like a cosmos, a universe. Let's have a look at them now, dried. Let's have a look at some of these fabrics that we've stiffened. I've peeled them off the plastic that I had them sitting on. Let's just see. Oh yeah, there it is. See how those pigments and the little bit of glitter on that. Lovely. And we got some plain ones. We've got some organza, silk, cotton, satiny. It's an organza, but see how it's just got that little tiny bit of sparkle. So that micro kind of very thin glitter worked beautifully, didn't it? Looks lovely. Let's think of something to make with it. Okay. The reason I stiffened these fabrics
Oh, well, I'm thinking there's so much I feel that you can do with them. What I'm wanting to do to start with is a couple of butterflies. I'm just going to fold that in half. And I don't know, I'm just going to cut something butterfly-ish. You see, can you see how crisp it is? See, I think that's really cute. Just going to try another smaller one. Now, butterfly-ish. What if I put it together? So already I think we're going somewhere, aren't we? That looks quite pretty, useful. And see, without that, because that's a stiffened edge there now, I feel like I could just join it in, put a little tuck or something, you know, and have it on a picture as a third dimension. Or something. Make a brooch if you want. Make a hair slide. Yeah, so I think I might cut some of those kinds of things out because I fancy some butterflies. And this is just fantastic, and I'm thinking I might want to do something else with that. Now, earlier I did some of these, which I painted with Inktense and then water, and we have this, and it's a waterproof, not waterproof, washproof. That one. Now where's our little butterfly? Just imagine if we had a couple little butterflies in there, bit of stitchery. Wouldn't that be cute? Well, maybe on this one it's better. And you can tell that's one I did with the dipping earlier, but it was a bit light, whereas this is nice and stiff. Let's just try another butterfly and see what happens. You never know. See how I double it over so that I get a mirror image, or mostly. Oh, you're so pretty. Alright, so let's have, I mean, you could have them separate. Already looks nice. What else did we have? We had these silky ones. Now I know I'm going to want to use some of this, but I'm just going to take a tiny bit and experiment. Because that's what I do. Can I get a flower or something here? I'm just looking at what shape is here that I can possibly use. I like that colour. I think we'll have tulips. So, you know, something like that would be good. And maybe use some of the smaller bits down here. And create an open one, maybe. What else? Well, I think I might save these for on here. This is the other one that I did. Like that. I could use the red one on here. Yeah, those of you that don't like raw edges, yeah, this is pretty good. You know? Alright, let's just stop it and think what we're doing. if I was making it, let me just think. I could have it like that. I could have it like that. See, that changes everything, doesn't it? Changes the whole shebang. Okay, so I would put, I don't know, is that too big? Is it? Could be. Let's just take one of these and see. Something that kind of size, perhaps. But you can see how handy these little scraps of stiffened fabric could be. Folded. And you know, like flying out, could come up over the edge. See, you got a nice crisp line there. What else did we do? We did this. Is it too dark? Maybe. See, some of the fabrics will get very dark as you wet them, shall we say, and then they'll stay that way. So you have to sort of be aware it'll change. But if you've got a little stash of these things, look, I think we could make any of that work. Looks pretty nice. I'm just looking for things that are sort of a little bit lighter than that, but then I could use a bit of this still. Got a bit of that. I'm going down here. I think this was a scarf that I got from the op shop. See how it's got a rolled hem on it? That's a bit better, isn't it, to bring a bit of colour in. I'm going to cut it like that. Let's see if it can somehow... Well, I'm thinking I want this little bunch down here, something like that. I'm just going to stick a pin there for now. And I'll have you there and butterflies. Okay, so I don't need all this fabric I've got here. I'm going to cut this off. Now, where is this? If it's this big, I'll cut that out there. Now these sheer fabrics that I'm working on, you know, you can see underneath it, can't you? A little bit. What I was wanting to know is if I put it on a different colour, like this one here, that gives it some oomph, doesn't it? Because you're seeing all those little holes, you see, and that changes the aspect of it. Here's another piece. Blue. What's that gonna do? Well, let's see, it changes the tone. Let's put half and half. See the line there? That's what we got. So we can either go greeny or bluey or something else. You might want to put something shiny. Now I was just looking at colours, but that's got no body. Like that. I wonder if you'd pick up any of the pattern. Little patches of other colour. That's a possibility there. And it's brought some apricot-y colours in. It's quite nice. I think you get my gist anyway. How you can bring other colours forward in the design. And oh, I think I've lost that stem. It'll be somewhere. But look at it, it's so close to being ready. I don't need to worry about going around the edges of every single one. Nothing like that. So, what do I have that I can use? Here's a pink. It's a bit lighter, you see, that might pick it up. I'm going to use some of that, I think. Standard cotton, 2 pieces, two strands from the 6 strands that are there. Oh. separate it out. So now normally I'd be going around each shape, but I'm thinking this time I'm just going to do some little lines up. Uh-oh, it's all falling apart, never mind. I could have used a glue stick. I could have done a lot of things to hold it down, you know, left that pin in, for example. Never mind. Well, whilst I'm doing this, I think I'll just go outside, and that will suggest the outer petals a little bit. See how that's picking it up? I might even bring in some shiny fabric. Not fabric, thread.
I did. Let's have a little look here. You see? Both brighter shades of that pink.
Right, well, here we are so far. And you can see how I've stitched outside sometimes, creating petals on the outside. I haven't stitched down everywhere. I haven't even bothered with that edge. Can you see here, without doing that edge here and twisting it a bit, I managed to create a bit of a curve. You know, so that this is something to explore, these stiffened fabrics. And so now we're going to just add in a couple of butterflies. First of all, I'm going to look at it in the frame here. Okay, so I can see where I want them. Now I've still got to put a little bit of green there, haven't I? I forgot that. Or I can put it right over there. But I quite like the edge of it too, so a little bit of green on that. I like the yellow that's coming too. Isn't it lovely against these maroon kind of pinks? So what kind of butterfly were we going to put on it? Can't remember. Maybe bluey ones. Oops. We did say we could have them flying out of the picture if we really wanted, because they're stiff. I'm just going to work it out. I'll try it in different places. So that is quite nice, but I think it needs something. And this one here, he's quite nice too, but he needs something as well. Alright then. I'm going to have a go at doing something with this. Alright, so I'm thinking I'm going to have a real sheer layer on top of this cotton. What I'm looking at the moment is, can I do a little, either a fold, I think maybe, something like that. Right, I'm going to start with doing that, just doing a little stitch just to hold those two together. I'm just thinking, if I did a little fold, that might be better. So let me just see, could be wrong. I'm just being very careful at the moment, so I'm just unsure. I do like the way it pulls it in though. Alright, well, let's just go for something. Either a gathering kind of stitch or something like that. I'm just going to use some of these tiny seed beads I have just because it's handy. Okay, so I'm going to want it about there. Yeah, so basically I'm just going to use those shapes, and I'm going to put either a tuck or something in there. I'm going to thread some seed beads on, and I'm going to make it so that it looks like the body. That's the hope. That is the hope.
So you can see there where I added that butterfly in and how it's gone outside the edge. And I've used the rest of my black thread to just do a little bit of antenna. And then I did a second one. See? And I like that they fly out the picture. I think that's pretty good. So that's it for today. We've had a lovely play, I think. Learned a few things, tried a few different experiments. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more. We're always doing something different. And I think this was a big success. It's got more that we can do. Thanks again for watching.